It's good today, boys. For some reason, I'm kind of hyped to make a video. I don't know why. It's not really anything's gonna be different. I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling the vidski, you know. All right, let's get into it. Right. So overall, right. First AM macro. I don't get anything right. So we have right. So this I forget what bias was here, but you can't even take the short here off this fair value gap because we already take out this sell side liquidity. And then right after macro ends, we actually get a nice setup. This was against bias and it was after macro. I'm just kind of explaining what happened, right? No entry. It provides no entry off this gap though, and it does not provide an entry off the ES either, right? So no entry there. Okay, I would come back down, same exact thing. Um, absolute Rippington. I was actually waiting for these shorts. Was I? Hold on, where's the macro start? Yeah, right here. 945. We couldn't take these shorts because I think we SMT'd off these highs. No, we didn't. Okay, well this just wasn't valid, right? Like there wasn't even really like a liquidity sweep here. There was nothing here to be honest with you, right? We come down, right? We don't even sweep out liquidity down here, and then we just go, right? So this is a pretty interesting first day macro, right? Second macro, I was waiting for these shorts, right? So I had a bearish bias at this point, right? We were trading outside of a daily bearish gap, a 4 hour, holy cow, right? We're trading out of this 4 hour bearish gap, this 1 hour bearish gap, right? So I had three of the higher time frames telling me that we were bearish, right? At this current moment in time, right? And as you can see, we don't get anything, right? So we get a model on ES, right? We have a market structure shift, we have a gap, but we have no market structure shift, and we do have a gap here. So we're just missing the market structure shift, right? Um, and this is important, right? So the shift kind of has to happen with the fair value gap, right? Because this is what's going to happen, right? Like we can have a fair value gap, correct? Like, okay, it's a very tiny fair value gap, but it's a fair value gap, right? But we don't get our market structure shift until later. You cannot use the same fair value gap. Why? Because it's not like, it's almost like it's like taking like liquidity, right? You want it to be shifting through these levels, right? Creating fair value gaps, telling you that we are continuously going into bearish order flow, right? And as you can see, we get that market structure shift. We come back up in this fair value gap, get a little rejection, and then come all the way back up, and you would have gotten stopped out on that. So no setups here. Bias was correct. We just didn't. The model did not form. And then look at this, right? This is interesting, right? So at this point, it's just teasing me, right? A minute after the macro ends, right? A minute after the macro ends, right? We get a setup, right? We inverse this order block. It's paired with this gap. We get a shift right here, and we put a order right there. TP1 would have been this low right here, and then TP2 would have been this low down here, right? So TP1 gets hit, and then you get stopped out at break even. So this would have been a winning trade. And it literally happened a minute after the macro. Bias was perfect. Everything was perfect. Just the macro just didn't want to, do its thing. And this is something I'm actually back testing right now, right? Because I'm back testing this right now currently. I'm back testing my entire strategy right now. Right, the entry model is still currently staying the same, right? The base bare minimum I'm back testing, right, is liquidity sweep, market structure shift, fair value gap on NQ only, okay? It's extra if like I'm taking a trade if that happens, right? And then I'm logging if the bias is bearish, if the same setup happens on ES, if we have a unicorn model, if I'm buying or selling above and below midnight open, right? Like these are just like little things I'm including in the data, and then I'm gonna put it through ChatGPT, and it's gonna give me the good model, and then I'm gonna back test that, and then we're gonna see how that goes, right? Oh yeah. So and then here, right? Again, dude, just teasing me, right? So we get a model, okay? We get a model here, right? So no shift here, right? So we shift through this. So this is exactly what I was talking about, right? we have a fair value gap, but no shift yet. So we have to shift through the next swing low to get a fair value gap, right? We have a beautiful setup here. Inversus order block. I mean, this is literally perfect, right? This is literally perfect textbook, right? You put your order here, boom. TP1 is right here. And then TP2 would have been here, right? I'm doing my TPs a little bit different too because I've been starting to backtest this and I want to do it purely based off liquidity, right? As you can see, right, the reason we couldn't take this is because as this was forming, ES was well below this low, right? So we've already swept out this low, taking out a point, and that's not like that's a no-go. That shouldn't be in anybody's strategy, right? If you've already taken out your first target, like your first draw on liquidity for the model to present itself, most times not you're gonna get stopped out. And I back tested this, right? Because you don't know if price is gonna reverse off this. Most of the time it can, right? So yeah, this is just a rare case scenario, but yeah, I mean, really annoying stuff. Again, I don't give a fuck because I'm a robot. I've been letting you know that the emotions have been kind of getting to me, but like, bro, just seeing this kind of stuff, right? It makes me happy, right? My model's playing out. It's just not lining up perfectly with my entry criteria, and I think that's what is messing with me. But it's also helping me, right? So it's kind of this like 6-7 kind of thing, right? Sorry. So yeah, I mean that's it for today. I'll catch y'all tomorrow and peace.